good morning guys. Welcome back to DJ's Workshop. So today we're going to be working on the Toyota Corolla. We had a check engine light pop on a few days ago and it came up with a bunch of different codes. They were all pretty much indicating that there was an issue with the charcoal canister. So I crawled under the car and I took a look and I saw there was actually a crack in the case, which is probably what caused that. So I went ahead and ordered a new canister. We're going to get that swapped out today. This is the new canister here. Okay, it's not too complicated. There's just a couple of bolts that hold it in, a couple of hoses that you got to connect. It does have a kind of a funky connector on it. I'll have to show you how to release that, but it shouldn't be too big a deal. So let me get the car in the shop here. We'll get it up on the ramps, crawl under there, see what we're up against. All right, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to read the codes and see what we got going on here. So let's see. All right, so first code we have is for an ignition coil. I'm not sure what's going on with that. We'll have to see if maybe I got a coil acting up. Let's see, it says we have 11 codes in here. All right, so we have a P043E evaporative emission system. We have a P2401 evaporative system, a P2402 evaporative system, P2419 evaporative, P043E evaporative, P043F. What does this one say? High flow evaporative emissions. Okay. 2401, 2402, 2419. So there's a whole bunch of evap codes in here, and I'm pretty sure they're all related to that canister. So we're going to go ahead and get that swapped out, and we'll clear all these codes out. I'm probably going to switch the ignition coils around. Let me see which, if it says which cylinder that was on. Ignition coil, primary, secondary, circuit. Okay, it doesn't really tell me which one, but it's a P0351. All right, we'll look into that after, but let's get this canister taken care of. All right, so if you crawl into the back of the vehicle, you'll see right in front of the spare tire well, this is your evap canister here. Like I say, there's a couple of connectors, a couple of bolts. This is actually, I think, the source of the problem. This is supposed to be up there like that, and it's actually cracked. So I think that's where all our issues are coming from. So we got to get a little pick tool and start taking some of these connectors off. All right, so we got a clip here. It'll get loosened up. Okay, we'll get that red clip off. Okay, so there's one hose off. And we've got an electrical connector over here. Okay, take that off. There's a vacuum hose here. tuck that out of the way for now. Alright, this hose here is going to come off. Okay. Alright, so we have two bolts holding this in. And these are 12 millimeter. One here. And one here. Oh, my mistake, there's actually 3 bolts. Okay, so we have the old canister out now. And we're just gonna slip the new one in there. Okay, there's one. Alright, so once we get the 3 bolts back in, then it's going to be a matter of hooking everything back up. So we get this vacuum line, actually a fuel vapor line. That goes up there. Put the clamp on there. Okay. So that line has to come off. And we don't need that connector, so we're just going to break that off, make it a lot easier, because these things are a real pain in the butt to get off. Okay, we got this little red clip. It goes back on here to secure this one. Okay, everything should be connected now. Everything's solid, clipped in, hose is on. Alright, so we're going to go back up top, we're going to clear the codes out and run it and see what happens. Alright, so because there was another code for an ignition coil, we're going to see what's going on here. Let's cover off. Alright, so here's your coils back here. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to swap these around so that way if the code comes back, we'll see if it's moving around. Okay, these are going to be a 10 millimeter. Okay, these pliers that are used for like hose clamps and stuff are actually pretty good because you can get a good grip on the connector like that. Okay, so that's your ignition coils. This one actually looks pretty good. That one looks good. That one looks good. Okay, so these coils don't look bad. Usually they're, you know, full of corrosion and all dried out and cracked and everything. These might have been replaced not too long ago. I think I actually put new plugs in this not that long ago either. Alright, so I'm just going to switch these up. So this is how they were. Alright, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this one here. I'll put this one here. I'll put this one here. And this one here. Now, if your computer tells you you had a misfire on cylinder 1, and you switch it to 3, and the code comes back, and now the code says it's misfiring on cylinder 3, then you know it's a bad coil. If it stays on 1, then you know it's something in the cylinder. Alright, put these back in. If you haven't replaced your spark plugs, this would be a good time to do it. So replacing the plugs and coils on these cars are pretty easy. It's pretty accessible. Not like my Eurovan, that's for sure. That was definitely a project. These little 4 cylinders, everything's pretty much right in the open for you. Alright, let's just snug these up. Just snug them. It's only aluminum. Things will break. Okay. Put that in. That in. That one in. That one in. Alright. Sometimes these little rubber grommets stick on there. They actually go on the cover. This is going to go back over here like this. Okay, so that's all set. Alright, so let's get the codes cleared and we'll see what happens. Okay, says the codes are clear. Let's see if the light's out. Okay, light is out. Let me drive it out of the garage and we'll let it run for a little bit, see what happens. Okay, so far so good. Check engine light's out. She seems to be running good. Let's just take it for a little spin down the street. See what happens. Running good. All right, I'm just going to take it for a little spin here, and we'll be back at the house in a moment. Okay, well, we made it back home, and no issues. Car's running good. No check engine lights. So hopefully that cured our problem. Alright, so if you have any of those codes that popped up that I showed you earlier, they're all emissions related. It's more than likely going to be from the charcoal canister. I did find a big crack in the canister, so that's more than likely what was the issue. So it's not too bad a deal. You just got to get up under there, you know, pop a few connectors off. There's 3 bolts holding it on. Put them back on, clear the codes out. And hopefully that's the end of that story. Alright guys, well, I hope that helps. If you liked the video, give a thumbs up, a share, a like, and I'll catch you guys on the next one.